Everybody wants to find the perfect match for their financial needs. Secured savings, stress-free access to affordable loans, instant mobile money transfers to MTN and Orange Cameroon, and even a share in the profits as a member owner. For over 7 years, Rencam Credit Union has been the perfect match for Cameroonians living in the UK and other nationals with interest in the Cameroonian heritage. Visit rencam.co.uk. Join Rencam Credit Union today, achieving success together.
I will sing songs. Stand like yo, listen. First time I heard this beat, I'm like, what? Beat so sweet like milk and pop. Who be this guy with sing like bird? I'm like, oh my god, baby, this is my song. I'ma make sure that my baby hears this. She's like, oh my god, I love this. He can't touch my body and bless me. Make the morning, she's like, baby, bless him. Ma don't patronize me, nope. I read with the verse and it's a joke. Just let me do my job right now. Introducing the new superstar I would tell.
I go play casino. I go chop casino. I go teach people lesson, girl, because of your love. I go fight casino. See you. I go win casino, girl. If I carry you run for my number, not because of your love. Masido, Sido, oh, Sido, Sido, Minare, Masido. Sido,
yeah, wait, let me go, Hello, Sidomina, hey. Hello, Sidomina, hey. Hello, hey. Hello, Sidomina, hey. Hello, Sidomina, hey. Hello, hey.
Tell me you go die for me. Tell me you go throw your dance for me. Now you cost me, oh. I sing another song, King Kong, stuff for call me. They go say, I'm bad, you know, sing. I got the juice, I got the sauce. I go play fine girl like a solo guitar. Not the year for them, I go play casino. Scatter balance, casino. I go teach people lesson, girl, because of your love. I go run casino. See you. I go win casino, girl. If I carry you run for my number, not because of your loving, girl. Sido, Sido, Minare, Masido, Sido, Minare. Jump the paragraph, como go tete, como go check a saran, como go tete. It's empty, I got my lady. The fanga talk about my lady. Jump the paragraph, como go tete, como go check a saran, como go tete. It's empty, I got my lady. The fanga talk about my Masido, Sido, Minare, Masido, Sido, Minare.
Hello, Sidomina, hey. Hello, Sidomina, hey. Hello, hey. Hello, Sidomina, hey. Hello, Sidomina, hey. Hello, hey. Motherland, baby.
Masido, hey, Mr. K-Mix.
Do.
Masido, Sido, Minare, Masido, Sido, Minare. Victor Masido, job blesser.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. Thank you guys for joining. Hi, Sha. Hi, Mommy. Hi, Collie. She says we day here already. We hope for lose 5 kilos by weekend. Don't we all? Don't we all? Oh my gosh, fingers crossed, right? Hopefully today we're going to learn some really great tips on how to lose that weight. So hello everyone, welcome to the Woman Experience with me, your host, Goretti. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for spending your Wednesday evening with us. For those of you who are new here, because I see a few new names, my name is Goretti, like I earlier mentioned, and I host this show every Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 p.m. UK time. And so what we have here is a platform where we can all learn via our shared experiences. So our show is generally very, very, very interactive. We encourage you to leave questions, suggestions, answers, resources. Leave it all in the comment section. And what I do is, if your questions are relevant to the conversation we're having at the time, I try and respond to I try and bring as many as I can to the stream so that we can respond to them. If I don't bring your question up, just please forgive me. But what I always encourage is that, and I think what every other person does, is that we all just read through the comments regardless. And so there's always somebody who would have a response to a question that you asked. And most often is your guest. So my main guest is here, and you who is watching at home, through it, or at work, on the road, through whichever device, you are our third guest. So you are guest of the show, and your voice, most importantly, is needed. So please, 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 please leave it all out in the comment section. Thanks, Cody. Thank you so much. So so tonight we're talking about something that I'm sure 90% who are watching can relate, right? This weight loss palaver. So weight loss is I don't know, it's become a bone of it's become a thing. Let me put it that way. It's become a thing, right? I don't know if it's because of the media, the Western standards of beauty, because I know that growing up, to be considered healthy and living well, you had to have for the men had to have a pot belly, right? And then the mothers needed their wrapper to be able to go around one time, that beautiful girth. That was our symbol of health. But I know, with exposure, with more learning, we now understand that size that we so loved is really not the best for our health, because it comes with its own health complications. So that, coupled with the media and all the pressure on looking a certain way, the modern six-pack, which is what is considered healthy and beautiful, we have all somehow found ourselves on that journey, right? Trying to lose it. And oh boy, I don't know about you guys, but it's hard. It is hard for me. So I have somebody here whom I have watched her transformation. I have personally watched her go from somebody who wondered, is it possible to lose weight, to being a true example of losing the weight, not just losing the weight, but keeping it off. And like I said, obviously, our show is what is about that, right? We learn from each other's experiences. And I really think that her experience is going to be one to motivate us, and we may even learn a thing or two. So without further ado, hi Christelle, hi Maria, hi Sophie. Please join me to welcome Clementine to the stream. Hi Clementine.
Hi, how are you, Goretti?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so pleased to be here today.
We are here in our numbers. I'm really excited because this weight loss matter now. Like I said in the opening, we have to find a solution to it. So Clementine is a family nurse practitioner and a weight loss coach who is joining us all the way from Maryland in the United States. And so, since we're just going to go into it, Clementine is my sister, as you all are, and she's a very strong member of the Woman Experience tribe, right? She's part of our tribe.
Yes, I am.
Yes, it's great to have somebody from our tribe come and share their story. So, Clementine, do you want to say hello to your guests first?
Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here today. As she said, my name is Clementine, and we're gonna share. Today is gonna be fun, fun all the way. Okay. So we have very short time to give you all this information. There's so much to digest today. So I really encourage you to just get your pen and papers if you can, just to jot some few things, because after today's show, trust me, you'll thank me later, because there's one or two things you're gonna learn today, which we've been doing, and we think we're doing the right things. But so let's just watch to the end, and I have something special for you at the end.
Thank you so much. And for those who are just joining, thank you. Welcome to the Woman Experience. We are here again. It's Wednesday evening. It's 8 p.m. in the UK and in Cameroon. And I want to show you a picture of Clementine during her weight loss journey, so that it adds again, it gives you credibility on on this. So this is Clementine.
Who is that?
I know, right? We don't recognize her. We only recognize the girl on our right. We don't know that. But and this is a process. You're still in the process, really,
yes,
of losing that weight. So my first question really is, because we all talk about want to lose weight. What was your motivation for you? Because you had been, I won't say plus size, but you had been the African size, the perfect African size, for a few years. So what was your motivations to think, okay, I want to lose that?
Honestly, you know me from Seed of Wisdom. I was really small. They always laugh at me in Seed of Wisdom with my tiny waist and things like that. So I've never been somebody with like big, never. Until I got pregnant with my son, who is 16, almost 16 today. And I gained 40 pounds. Okay. I was still okay with that. But then things I was trying to lose, it was very difficult. I tried for 15 years. It was very difficult. Long story short, what really motivated me last year, my primary care called me and told me I'm a full-blown diabetic. And I've been a pre-diabetic for 5 good years. My dad was a diabetic. He passed in 2013. So he always told me he wanted to put me on medication, or I should do something. I don't like pills. I don't like needles, for all who know me. So last year when he called me and gave me the news, I was stunned. I was like, okay, I have to do something on my own, because I'm not going to take pills. I'm not going to do any finger stick or things like that. Then when I thought of my dad, looking at my dad on a wheelchair, amputated, and it was even mommy who bought Papa's wheelchair that he used until he passed. So I didn't want to go to that extent, because I knew if I don't take medication, I'm going to get there. And those who know my legs, I have some sexy legs, okay?
Yes,
I was not going to lose it to diabetes. Hell no. So I had to do something. So that was my motivation right there.
Because I feel like your motivation is so important to keep you on that journey. Because, by the way, for those who don't know, I've known Clementine since I was like, I call her Clementine because I still call it the Cameroonian way, and the Americans call it Clementine, right?
Yes.
So we went to secondary school together. So I've known her since I was like 10. And like she said, she was really skinny. So, but I'm bringing this back to motivation. I think that your motivation is very important, isn't it? Because it's what keeps you on that journey.
It is. Because one of the questions that I said I was going to share with you, before you start this journey, you have to ask yourself, why?
Yeah.
That why piece of it is really important.
Yeah.
And as I said, there are some people who were really small. There are some who were born big, like they have this round body. So those people, I'll not even say, okay, go for it, but just be healthy. Okay. Because I even like myself when I was still round, and my husband could grab some things back there. So, but then because of the disease, I had to do something, and it brought me back. So you have to know why you're doing it. That keeps you focused and it keeps you going.
Hi, Krista. Krista is joining us all the way from Douala, 237. Krista says, please share this sexy.
We have a male on the show. Right here.
I know.
I cannot lose them, okay?
She can't lose those legs. That's motivation enough. That's congratulations. I think they're all saying congratulations on the picture that I put of your weight loss.
Thank you.
So tell me. So when your doctor told you that, obviously that's very scary. I mean, diabetes, we know all the complications that come with diabetes and all of
Mhm.
that. What was the first step that you took?
Okay. So the first step that I took, I had to first of all sit down, digest it. I think
Mhm.
something, let me sit well. Is that better?
Yeah, it's still a bit dark, but it's okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I had to sit down and process and ask myself, where did I go wrong? Because I thought I was doing the right thing. I don't eat junk. I don't,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and I don't drink sodas or things like that. So I thought I was always doing something right. So my first thought was, okay, where did I go wrong? So I had to take time, sit and process it. First of all, accepting that I'm a diabetic, and
Yeah.
then knowing, figuring out what was I doing, to get to this point. So, and I noticed when I did my research and things like that, I was doing the completely opposite of what I should have been doing, which we're gonna get there as during the show.
Right. So you were doing so me who is sitting here not drinking sodas and think fizzy drinks as we say here in the UK, I may still be doing something wrong. That's a bit
Oh
scary.
yeah, yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay. Maria says I have all sizes in my wardrobe: size 12, size 14, size 16, size 18. I need help. Sis,
Okay.
oh well. I used to be a size 8. Today I think what I am. And that's after 3 children. Um, so um so let's get to it. Like I said, so you digested it, and then what? What did you do?
So I digested it and I saw that, okay, first of all, I wasn't eating right. I thought I was eating one meal a day. Being a nurse, majority of us, especially in the US, are nurses. Being a nurse on the floor, you have to work on a med surg unit in a hospital. I had to work 12 to 13 hours. So I didn't even have time because I was doing morning shift. I left the home early, go to work, and by the time you're getting report, you're starting seeing your patients. So I didn't really have time to sit and eat. So I'll just have bites here and then when I go home, which is like 8 p.m., trust me, I'll be sitting down there eating this big bowl of fufu or
Mm-hmm,
rice.
mm-hmm,
Eh? So I said, okay, just one meal a day, it's okay. But it wasn't. So then the second part is I'm like, okay, I'm eating one meal a day. Why am I not losing weight? Then I
mm-hmm.
figured you have to know your body type.
Right.
Very important. So there are different types. My type, just for the purpose of this show, because we don't have time, I'm endomorph. The two types of endomorph body types. We are the pear shape. Those who have fat on their belly, fat on their
Mhm,
arms, fat on their
mhm.
thighs, and fat on their gluteal. That is the endomorph pear shape. That's the worst. Those are the worst people to lose weight. So when I
Wait,
knew that
so wait, animal penship, can you repeat that? Those who have fat on their
belly,
hmm
the round belly fat,
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
their thighs, and
yeah.
their gluteal, that's their butt.
Oh, they call it butt now, sis.
Their
Okay, yeah,
behind, the backside.
the
So
backside.
that is the
Our
end of
our heritage.
yes.
Uh-huh.
So then there is the endomorph apple shape.
hmm
Those who have flat buttocks,
hmm
no thighs, but big belly, that's the apple shape. So
hmm
we are the most difficult to lose. There's certain things you need to know how to be able to take care of that. Like for us, I needed to eat three frequent, about 4 or 5 frequent meals. I think you usually see my setting from
Yeah,
breakfast to dinner. So I was
yeah.
eating those frequent meals. Then I was losing weight, then exercising a lot. I was losing 2 to 3 pounds a week. I'm like, whoa, so this is really working.
Wait, so you were losing weight by eating a lot,
Yes, that's the
right?
body type. That's the endomorph. So you do small, frequent meals, and that helps too with your metabolism.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't mind. Do you have time to explain a bit more of those body types? Because I think that it would help.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
So as I was saying, that was the endomorph. So for the endomorph type, we have to do small portions, small frequent meals.
yeah.
Okay. So you have some people who can do 3 meals a day. Those are the people, some of them are really lean, but you can see fat here, and then those are the ectomorph. They're
Mm-hmm,
really slim. They have slim bones. We have bigger bones. They have
yeah,
slim bones.
mm-hmm,
So they don't need to do a lot. They can just do their small meals here and then, or do their 3 meals, and they're fine. Then they just need a little bit of exercise. But for us, in order for the endomorphs to burn certain amount of fat, you have to exercise at least 45 minutes, 5 times a day for the first 3 months, for example, because the first 3 months is your target. So I was exercising like a guru. And the first 20 minutes, it's like you're not even doing anything. For the endomorph people, it's like you're not doing anything. Walking is not for you, for us, unless you just want to maintain. Like what I'm doing now, you have to jog or run. You see me, I do a lot of jump rope in order to burn that fat. And it's towards the 30th minute that you start finding results. So that's why it's advisable to do about 45 minutes of intense exercise. The first 20 minutes warm up, then the rest of it is just activating into that fat burning mode.
Okay, so everybody, people are asking about these endomorphs and ectomorphs, because I know that if we get that right and then we all identify ourselves, then we move on from there, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, this has become a biology class, but we all so I have spelled endomorph, and so for those who are asking, endomorph body type, that's what it is. So you're going to explain. I'm sorry, I'm taking you back. But guys, if you understood it, just let me know. And if you can identify, because I know what I am, an endomorph. What
you are the pear
I
shape.
have parts in my arms,
You are
my eyes. I'm pear shape. Right.
Apple shape is those with flat buttocks, no fat on their thighs, but just the belly. That's the endomorph apple shape, which is majority of the people, especially us here in the US. Majority of us.
What about us from Africa? What's that?
It's still the same. Like the people in Africa, it's still the same. You can still see that shape. But the difference with us and the people in Africa and those here, the physical activity comes in a lot. And that's why I was explaining that this our food, we eat all of this our food back home. We're fine. But what is the difference here? Why can't we still eat those foods and not lose weight? Because the physical activity part of it comes in stress and sleep, lack of sleep. It's a whole package.
It's a whole package. So Winnie, I've typed it, the body types and their spellings, endomorph. It's in the comments under my name, Goretti Experience. So if you want to find that. Auntie Bibi's motivation was that she went to the GP for her blood test and the results came and she's on the bottom line to develop diabetes. Wow. So me, I'll be waiting. Chris, I think you are endomorph me. You and I. Whichever one I fall under, that's you.
So what they can do is why they can be watching or they just want to listen, then go back, type the different body types. It's gonna give you the different categories, and from the explanation, you'll definitely know where you fall and what to do to help you. Body type, it's really important. You have to know it.
And he says, what of those without the belly? We don't get them. That's why I'm laughing.
No, you guys are lean. Oh, you guys are really lean and okay. So that could be, I think, the ectomorph type.
Ectomorph. Yeah. Lean and long with difficulty.
Exactly. Ectomorph. Yeah. So there's different body type. Now that
Collie says, my body type is different. It goes with intermittent fasting. I get just the fruit smoothie at 12, 13, 14, and just my single meal later. So I think we're going to come to that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, because we're talking about that behind the scenes. So so for you, so let's talk for you now. Your body type is the endomorph apple?
Pear.
Okay. The
endomorph. It now. You see the honey. Hey.
Yeah, but you have done well. So as the endomorph pear, what was your routine? What did you do? What worked?
So intermittent fasting, which comes in, I tried that because I said, okay, since I have to eat small frequent meals, let me plan my meals. Planning and prepping, guys, is very important. It takes you a long way. Since I started my journey, July 5th of last year, I have planned my meals consistently. I already know what I want to eat for the week. Then I just set it up and I take my pictures. Goretti, you can testify to that. I set my pictures from breakfast to dinner, everything set. So it keeps me grounded and it keeps me focused. So I know, okay, this is my time. I already have what I have to eat in these hours. So because I wasn't comfortable and this is something I've never tried before, the intermittent fasting. I said, let me start with the 12 hours window.
We're talking intermittent fasting now.
Yes.
Okay.
So I did that. So I started eating from 7:45 and I ended at 7 p.m. So in there, I had my meals, my main meals, and my healthy snacks in between my main meals. So those healthy snacks helped me control the portion of my main meals and the quality of my main meals. So now I wasn't eating because I was hungry. I was just eating because I need those calories, which is something we're gonna get there to, especially with our African food. So I was grounded. I never ate anything past 7. So if you want to do the intermittent fasting is really good, but you have to know how to do it in order to succeed. During your go ahead.
No, but okay, yeah, were you gonna explain intermittent fasting because I wanted to talk about while I was doing some research on weight loss, and they were saying that some of the myths around weight loss is because intermittent fasting seems to be a fad. It's everywhere now. We're being encouraged to do intermittent fasting. But somebody was saying that some of the myths around intermittent fasting is that you can't eat past a certain time, and that was wrong.
Yes.
That you don't lose, you would still, you can still lose weight even if you ate at midnight.
So it just depends on when you start. So if you want to do the 12 hours window, it depends on when you started. Some people say, okay, I do not eat breakfast. I'm not a breakfast person, which is okay. So I always ask them, okay, if you're not a breakfast person, when is your first meal? And they'll tell you probably noon. So I tell them, I say, okay, what goes in your mouth before noon? They'll tell you water, which is fine. Tea, no sugar, no sweetener. That's excellent. But then there are some people who say, okay, I eat just an apple before my first meal. No, whatever has sweet or calories is already considered as your first meal because of that calorie and things in it, the sugar in it, from the fructose, that's considered calorie as well. So that's considered your first meal. So
repeat.
Okay.
So because I do intermittent fasting and I'm not losing weight, man, but I do intermittent fasting and I break with a fruit and water.
What time?
Around midday.
Okay, that's perfect. But what I'm saying is some people tell you they start their first meal at noon. So you ask them before that noon, what put in your mouth? They tell you yogurt, apple. So I tell them if it's yogurt, apple, or a banana, skip it. Because that's fructose from the fruits. That's calories that you're putting in your mouth. So it messes up your fasting window. So I tell them if your first meal is at noon, maybe probably 11 o'clock, take something light. Maybe a fruit. That fruit can start at 11 because you don't just want to put something heavy in your stomach. No. The fruit can start at 11, then you eat something start your meal at noon. Then you can still enjoy your meals throughout your window. Then during your end time, if you say, okay, my time is 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever time you want to do, if it's the 12 hours, you stop there. The only thing that goes in your mouth as well is water, tea, no sugar, no sweetener, no calories. Why? Because during your fasting window, that's when it processes everything that you've taken in your eating window. It's like the machine is working, it's processing this. And that's what keeps your metabolism going. That's what gives you, keeps it going. Now, if you go, some people they stop eating at 8 p.m. Then by, let's say 10 o'clock, they put something in their mouth. Meanwhile, their window was supposed to end at 8. Now, if your body is searching for calories or is searching for anything as source of energy, because that's when you have your glycemic index, especially diabetics, your sugar goes up and down. So if you put anything in your fasting window, you've spiked up that sugar again. So if the body needs anything, it now goes to whatever you've put in your mouth. And it uses it as source of energy or fuel or to replace what the body thinks that is missing. And that's when mind over matter comes in because you think that you're hungry, but you're not. So if you do not eat anything, if the body thinks that it needs something, it goes now in your eating window. Pick what was reserved because when you eat, the body distributes what it needs. Then the rest is stored in your liver as storage for emergency. Okay, so let it come in that window, pick what it needs, supply it back to the body if need be, and then your fasting window is still your fasting window. You've not messed it up. It's like if you do that, you're starting your clock all over again. So it doesn't help.
Okay.
And that's why some people go to parties. They say, oh, I'm not going to eat fufu. I'm not going to eat pork. I'm not going to eat rice. I'm just going to eat some fruit. That's not eating. That's the worst.
Right. Because of the sugar.
Fructose, yes.
The fructose. Okay. So well explained. That went down well. But what about, gosh, the thought has just escaped my mind. What about okay, when I went to Cameroon, right?
Yeah.
Because so when I went to Cameroon, I never did intermittent fasting or anything. I was in Cameroon for almost a year. I lost. I went from a dress size 14 to a dress size 10. And all I did was within the first 2 months of my time in Cameroon, I exercised 3 times a week, but I ate at any hour of the day. Why was it easier for me to lose weight in Cameroon than it is for me to do it now, apart from the fact that I'm about 5 years older?
Mm-hmm. So 5 years older, age is another factor. When we get older, hormones, they start playing their own games, whatever they're playing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When you're here, stress level. In Cameroon, you probably have peace of mind. That's
Oh,
why I was
yes.
saying that it's a full package. Lack of sleep, stress, eating, lack of physical activity. So those things play a role altogether. Cameroon is different. You there, people are doing their things, you're rested, you're not screaming all over the place as you were screaming about on this children because somebody is there doing something. So you're not constantly thinking, oh, mortgage, oh, this, oh, I have to come back, especially us mothers. Kudos to all mothers, wives, and kudos to you all. So Cameroon is quite different. And the foods that are here, so you have to remember the way it's processed. We have organic foods back home. The foods here, jam-packed with all these hormones and all these things, which is not helping us at all.
Chantal says you were walking, sweat from the heat.
Yeah.
So, sorry. So, Christelle is asking, how do we lose this belly fat?
The foods you eat, carbs. First of all, us women, the belly fat, it's called the visceral fat. So that belly fat is the most difficult fat to go away because God created us with some of that fat because of baby making and things like that. So naturally it's there to protect us. God created us very perfect.
Yeah.
Okay? So to protect us. And now we have the food. Some of these carbohydrate foods that we eat, sodas that we drink, they go there. But if you cut down, even if you're drinking soda every day, if you cut down soda drinking or sweets from your diet in a year without doing any kind of exercise or maybe a little bit, you will be guaranteed probably 19 pounds in a year if you cut just soda out of your diet. The sugar.
From your stomach area, from the visceral fat.
Yes, it accumulates right here. Sugar is a bad thing for us with this fat right here. There's some exercises to really help. Then some of the carbohydrate foods, we want to be careful with those, especially how much you eat them.
So, you were talking about sugar. Is honey considered sugar?
It depends on the honey. There is some sugar in it. Yes. But it's better. And with your journey, that's when you start comparing things. Which is better. Because you don't want to cut your things out of your diet. That's why you see people bounce back because they say, okay, I'm not going to eat bread. I'm not going to eat fufu. I'm not going to eat plantains. I'm not going to eat that. That is wrong. For how long are you going to sit without eating those things? Yeah. If you know that you can do it and do it successfully, fine for you. But if you know these are the things that you always have challenges with, I tell people, just reduce the portion and the frequency. How many times you eat them in a week and how much you eat, which is what I've been doing because I still eat this our Cameroonian food. That's why I did not succeed. I've tried different type of weight loss things before. It never worked because I said, okay, I'm not going to eat rice. I will not eat food. But those are the things that I really like to eat.
Exactly.
Okay. Now with my program, I still eat those food. I still eat my fufu. I still eat my rice. I eat my plantains. I eat dodo, whatever. But then what portion control, and what do you eat it with?
Exactly. And we will come to that. But Crystal is asking, does drinking a lot of tea help in burning the belly fat?
Tea is good. Tea is naturally good, especially green tea or black tea. It has some components in it that helps with fat burning, especially the belly fat. So definitely tea. I will not say no to tea. Tea is good. It will definitely help you too on the belly fat and every other fat in your body. Then your exercises. Some people don't want to hear that about exercise.
So how much exercise is enough?
For us, as I was saying, for us, the endomorph type, let me say 45 minutes a day, 4 to 5 days a week.
Huh?
4 to 5 days a week for endomorph type. Yeah, 4 to 5 days a week. Let me put it this way, the first 3 months is really crucial. The first 3 months into your journey, that's the crucial part, because that's when you figure out your routine. It's really important. So you want to figure out what works better for you. You want to get those routine and get going. So if you have to be aggressive the first 3 months, then you start slowing down. That's when you really, really burn that fat. Then you start getting into your maintenance zone. Then eventually you get into your fat burning mode, where you said you'll be enjoying some of this food with just a little bit of activity, but then it's constantly burning the fat that's in your body.
So the first 3 months you have to get it right.
Aggressive.
So for those who are asking about the ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph, that's it. So if you can identify yourself in any of those pictures, that's your body type. So so I'm clearly an endomorph. So what's mesomorph though? Because they are what I wish I was.
You see, like the lady, they're really lean.
Yeah.
Okay. So those people, they just need to do a little bit just to increase their metabolism and the energy level. They're not too much. It's us.
It's us. So tell me, let's bring it back, because the truth is, Monchka says mine is not there.
I can't even see, so I won't be able
see, which one is yours then? So let's go, especially with the Cameroonian diet. And guys, if you've got any suggestions to what she's saying, you have anything to add, please just I love what you're doing, but don't be a stranger, please. If you have any contribution, this particular topic I think is the most important one, because we're all trying to lose weight in some form. So Auntie Vicky is asking, why is it that a lot of us have fat belly? Because I had my children and I realized that my tummy is a problem.
So just as I said, the visceral fat is right there. And ask yourself the type of foods that you were eating too while you were pregnant. My son, for example, I gained 40 pounds with my 15-year-old who is almost 16 now. And that's the 40 pounds that I've lost now. Because I struggled too, because my belly was really there. And it came to a point, I never had big belly. It came to a point, I was sitting on the toilet, my belly was flapping on my tongue. I'm like, whoa. Yeah, I'm like, okay, where is this going? I was like, where is this going to? Yes, it flaps on your thigh. Something that my belly was never big. So that period, I was eating a lot of carbohydrate foods, a lot. When I blame him, that is because of him that I get 40 pounds. He said, because you were pregnant with me, you were eating fufu without controlling your mouth. I was eating it Monday through round the clock.
Yeah. So that I can so relate. Somebody says theirs is it real? Mine is the phatomorph. Is that a real thing?
I've heard of phatomorph. I've not really done research on that. I don't know if people are just joking with it or it's really true.
Okay.
So I didn't.
We'll have to learn all these body types.
Yeah.
I don't think it's real.
Somebody has mentioned that before. I haven't researched on it, but I'm like, are they just joking or there's something out there like that?
So if there's something there like that, Yenny, let us know what phatomorph is. So now, okay, let's get to that point where you are decided, because like for those who are just joining us, she's really done a good job losing the weight, and she was slightly bigger than that, and this is how, and she's maintaining it and even still losing some. So
Clementine. It would be hard for me to call you Clementine.
Call it Clementine, that's fine.
Clementine. So when now, once you decided that, tell me your the first month, what was your everyday routine?
So the first month, everyday routine, as I told you, which is still to today, because my routine continues. Not eating past 7 for me, and those who are just joining in, it doesn't mean that you have to stop eating after 7. It works better. The intermittent fasting thing is kind of individualized. It works better with your schedule. So I tell people you can start from dinner. I ask them, what is the comfortable time for you to put the last bite in your mouth? Start from dinner and work your way towards breakfast. So they say, okay, 8 o'clock. Then I say, okay, start from 8 o'clock and work your way back instead of starting from breakfast and working, because a lot of people have that issue where nighttime is when they tend to like crave for certain things. So I tell them to start from and work back. And if you know nighttime you get hungry, I say, okay, you might want to know how to switch your meals around. For me, I call it small, moderate, and large. Breakfast to me was my largest portion. I will eat. Somebody will look at my breakfast and say, will you finish that? Yes, I will. Because once I eat, I'm very busy on the floor. When I go to see my patients, I'm deliberately working and not sitting, just to keep constantly burned. Lunch to me was moderate. Dinner for me was just very light, maybe a protein shake, as you know, or probably nothing, because I wasn't really hungry, because I had my healthy snacks in between all my main meals. Snacks like baby carrots, cucumbers, bananas, apples, fruits or vegetables in between my main meals. So I wasn't really hungry. If you see me take something at dinner time before 7, then maybe it's a protein shake, because I know I have to go exercise. Something, just a little bit of just light. So you can definitely change it around. If you know you're one of those who get hungry in the evening, then you might want to consider dinner your heavy meal. So put the category small, moderate, heavy. So you might want to do heavy, then, so that if you feel like small, moderate, large, so you can switch them around, what works better for you. So I encourage people to do the heaviest when they know they're very mobile, or if you know you have a tendency to sleep, you get up at maybe 10 o'clock to get a bite of something, then you might want to do dinner, either the moderate or the large portion, so you don't feel hungry. At least if anything has to come in your mouth, it's just tea or water, no sugar, no sweetener.
Eddie says, oh, send 1 kiddies and tea chai.
Thank you.
That's what happens. So
I had to learn the hard way.
So Collie says, for who asked about belly fat, Auntie Vicky, Collie says belly fat is also mostly prevalent with women who suffer constipation. Eat foods that are rich in vegetables, fruits, teas, no sugars, and take tea after meal. Yeah?
Correct.
I'm trying to go.
With the foods that he just mentioned, it definitely helps with constipation. I used to suffer from chronic constipation.
Right.
Yeah. And so those fruits and vegetables and water. You see my water?
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's what I don't do. I don't drink water. So Gwen says she gets hungry at midnight. So for somebody like Gwen who gets hungry at midnight, can you please explain it again? What do we do?
Okay, so and that's when another part comes in. Why are you hungry? That's the question. Are you hungry because you're hungry, or you're hungry because your mind is roaming about, or it's emotional eating? That's when we're going to come to the maintenance phase, stress and emotional eating. Why am I eating? Before you put anything in your mouth, you have to ask yourself, why am I eating? Are you hungry, or is just something that's leading you to go eat? So that's why I was saying that make dinner for you, make it heavy. If you can answer those questions, if it's hunger, then make dinner your heavy meal. But you want to make sure after dinner, give it 2 to 3 hours before bedtime, before you go to sleep. Because you don't just want to eat, then go to sleep immediately. So asking yourself why you're hungry is really important. Are you stressed? Are you something? Because stress can definitely lead to the binge eating.
So the people who eat, if you eat at midnight like that and you're going to sleep and maybe you're going to have sex, does that help to burn the food, the weight? Or
sex definitely help, especially trim your waistline when you're turning and turning back. I hope they're not teenagers on this.
No, I don't think they are.
So definitely helps with, some degree of activity. Any activity counts. Okay, so long as you're not just sitting, any activity counts. But then we really want to encourage you not to eat, that late at night. As I said, those who eat midnight, ask yourself why you're eating. Is it those who do night shift? If you're doing night shift, that's when the intermittent fasting still comes. As I said, it's individualized. Do what works best with your schedule. That's how you succeed.
Right. So and Dia says, like you said, stress is a great factor for weight gain. When you're stressed, the body releases hormones which make you eat excessively, and then the excess eating becomes like a way of relieving stress just for the minute you're eating.
True. So we're gonna get into stress management at the end of it.
Yeah. So before we just get to that, I saw something here. So Auntie Bibi says if you're someone who likes swimming, it's really good because that will help you as well to reduce weight.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Swimming is water aerobics is one of the best exercises, especially for someone with joint pains, because some people say, oh, I have a broken leg, I have this, I cannot exercise. It puts you in a depressed mode, because especially if you started your journey, then you have an injury. It brings you back. So I tell people, if you can get in water aerobic is one of the best things, because the amount of calories that you burn in water is like more than what, like 2 times or 2 to 3 times more than what you burn if you are not in water, and you do not feel that pressure on your injury and things like that, which is where the activity part of it comes to. Before you do any exercise, please, it's really important, make sure you stretch before and after, and you want to make sure you're doing the exercises the right way. If you're not sure, definitely contact somebody to teach you how to do those exercises, because you will injure a joint and you don't want to get there. But if you know what you're doing and doing it the right way, most definitely go for it.
So I think Cindy is talking about the Wii exercises that you can do on the Wii. She's recommending that because I think that the Wii, the Wii, the Wii modem.
Oh, the thing on the computer.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah. So different ways. I think so. Inda says that my head and mouth get so hungry and my legs and hands just take the orders. Often nothing to do with my stomach. I think that's just responding to when you were saying we need to understand why we eat at those late hours.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So
and just to add another process too, during the first 3 months I did method of elimination. What method of elimination? Because I had joint aches. Apart from the diabetes, my whole body, my skin was tender to touch. My primary care, my doctor wanted to put me on Lyrica and said I had fibromyalgia. I hate medicine. That's it's a disease that affects your body. You are so tender. That's 18 points. Your skin is so tender, your joints are always aching, things like that. So I told him, I said, I'm not going to get on any prescription because the side effects of Lyrica are worse than the symptoms of fibromyalgia. So I told him, I said, I'd rather deal with the symptoms than deal with the side effects.
Yeah.
So by exercising and seeing some of the food, because when I eat, there were some foods that when I ate, so I could not even get up. I was so lazy, so drained, so drowned. I was like, okay, what is happening? So I had to do method of elimination. First of all, I started with meats. I said, okay, maybe if I stop eating this type of meat, I'll notice some changes. So I gradually cut off pork from my meat and from my diet. And I noticed that, okay, pork was one of the things that were making my joints ache. Up to now, I've not suffered from joint aches or anything. Then there were some carbohydrate food that when I ate, like anything with white flour, it was draining me. White pounded yam, it would drain me. So I had to switch. So you can definitely make those switches. So with fufu, I had to go from pounded yam to oatmeal fufu. And I saw that I could tolerate that better. So you want to do elimination. If you're giving up something, you want to be able to replace it with something. If not, you're going to be so miserable. Like, okay, I'm giving up everything. What is life worth? You understand? So in order to give, you have to receive. Know what you're replacing. If you don't want to eat meat, make sure you know the foods that are high in protein, because meat is a good source of protein. Make sure you know the foods that are high in protein that can definitely help you replace that source, your source of protein. There's a lot of things, beans, things like that to help you. So you do method of elimination. Then I was cutting up those things and I realized that, okay, my energy level was going up instead of sluggish. So I was like, okay, either I eliminated them or completely, or I replaced it with something, or I ate them at a different time. But most of it, I just cut it off.
Right. That's really interesting. I've never ever thought about that.
Yes.
Inda say is asking, I'm interested to hear about what you eliminated for my my what?
Fibromyalgia.
Fibromyalgia. Yeah.
Yeah. So as I said, the meat, I took out the meat. It took care of that tenderness, because when I got in bed, my husband used to tell me you need to exercise, because when I got in bed, for example, the side of the bed touches my body. I felt pain. You touch my arm, I feel pain. My joints were aching. So with the joint ache, I told my daughter, my primary care, but with the tenderness, I did not tell him, because I was like, I've never heard somebody complain that they're tender to touch. Until when I was doing my clinical rotation, a patient came in who had the same symptoms. So I was like, oh, so there's somebody like that out there too, like me. So after I saw that patient, because my clinical instructor was my primary care provider, after that patient, I signed myself up to be checked out. So I told my primary. So that's when he wanted to put me on Lyrica, which is one of the most common medications for fibromyalgia, but I refused. So when I started doing that method of elimination, I took out the pork. I noticed that, okay, pork was definitely one of the things that was causing me this joint ache, because I said the joint ache went. Then, I always, after 3 months, I used my body as an experiment. I went back to eat pork just to see, to compare two things, to see if that's truly what was happening. Trust me, within 3 weeks, it came back. It started coming back. I started having all those flares on my body. So I'm like, okay, that's it with pork. Meat, it's okay. I haven't, but I'm just like, if I don't want to eat it, beef, sorry. So I haven't had that issue with beef, but I was just like, okay, I don't want meat, I don't want beef, I don't want pork. So I'm now dealing with chicken and turkey and fish and things like that.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I think I'll look into that. Andia says, haha, I do oatmeal fufu or plantain fufu. I realize pounded yam makes me sleepy for hours. I think
it does. So, yeah. As I was so druggish, I'm like, I like food, but food doesn't like me. Why? So I noticed that, because your system, why do you feel druggy? Because there's some carbohydrate food that give you that immediate boost, that release that sugar immediately and gives you that energy just for a short period of time. Then you start feeling sluggish. There's some that you eat, then immediately you cannot even get up, even if you eat it small. So I noticed that is the digestion process. Our body is different. Some people, it takes a longer time to digest certain foods. So that's why you're so sluggish and things like that. Meat, for example, did you know it takes a couple of days for meat to digest? So imagine those who are eating meat every day. You're just overworking your liver, because your liver does all that work. You guys are torturing. Let's stop torturing these organs, especially the liver that does all that work processing this food. Is torture.
And I add my voice to you to say that somebody told me, I'll never forget, I can't remember who told me that, Goretti, this body you have at 40 is the same body you will have at 80, and the same organs you will have if you live longer than that. So you have to treat it well.
Yes.
Because you could be eating meat back to back. You like soya, you like soya, you like soya. You forget that there's 50 waiting for you, and 60s and 70s, and those would have side effects.
Yeah. So as I said, meat is difficult to digest, and there are some people too with a couple of those.
Sorry, I have a technical issue. My thing is not charging, so just give me 1 second. Let me figure it out. But go on, talk about the elimination.
She said her thing is not charging. What thing is not charging? Anyway,
my laptop.
So are you back?
I'm trying to make you the big, I don't know how do I do this. No, so bear with me. I'm just going to figure it out, and then, no. Guys, I do apologize. I was trying to get
myself off this thing. So go on, you talk. I'll get myself off this.
Okay. So what I was saying, where was I? Where were we? Where is that? Where's oh
The process of elimination, darling.
yeah,
Eliminating.
so you eliminate some of those things, and that's how you really know what works for you and what does not. So when you get into the maintenance phase, which is where I am now, at least you already know your routine, what works for you. Yeah, and I was saying meat is, well, some people like it, but if you can do it maybe once or twice a week, if you really like meat, that's better instead of doing it every day, because it really takes a couple of days to digest. Is she back?
I am back. Yes. Hi guys. I do apologize. I don't know what's happening, but my laptop's not charging for some reason. So I think it's time to call on those prayer warriors again. But yeah, anyway, so I hope he charges, it picks up. I don't know what's happening. So Inda says, truth is, we sometimes don't pause long enough to figure out how our bodies are responding to the stuff we ingest. Lord have mercy.
Yes.
And Atem says coconut flour is good. I tried oatmeal and a bit of plantain flour, good as well. So I think this is the elimination, what people are replacing it with.
Correct. So as I said, you really want to replace it. You, during your journey, you want to enjoy your journey. You don't want to feel tortured. Yeah, that's the way to put it. Even with physical activity, you want to enjoy it. You want to do things that work for you. You want to do things that are fun for you. You just want to enjoy this transition journey, and then put it in your head that this is the beginning of a new lifestyle until infinity. Okay, because it's not like you just want to go for a wedding. No, once whatever works for you, just treat it as a routine. Now I've just made it a lifestyle for me, and I'm just enjoying it. You see me sometimes just doing my jump rope, dancing my music, singing my song, which you're gonna go there as part of stress management. Oh, I was talking about those with hormonal issues. It's really difficult, especially you have some people with thyroid. Those people, it's really, really difficult for them to lose. And another thing too that I forget to add, before you even start your journey, that's part of the why. You have to ask yourself, why am I not losing? You know, it could be hormonal, it could be medications that you're taking. Why did you gain weight in the first place? It could be childbirth, it could be this, it could be medication, it could be hormonal issues. So you want to be able to identify those things before you're able to target it. Why am I gaining weight? Answer those questions first. Go to your primary, do some blood work. They should check your thyroid levels and things like that. That will really help too, because you have a lot of people who are out there with thyroid disease. They don't even know they have it because they're not doing, but they're struggling and struggling and struggling. They're not losing weight. They're doing everything the book says. They're not losing. Then you're asking yourself, okay, what is going on? Then you just get depressed. So you want to check your levels first. Know your numbers.
Know your numbers.
And know them. If you're on any medication, know the side effects of those medications, because there's some medications which will make you gain weight instead. So you're popping those medications, then you're struggling, you're not losing. You're like, okay, why am I not losing? But you're doing everything you're supposed to do. So know those things.
So Miranda is asking you, what about dry meat? Does it have side effects on the body too?
It's just the same. Meat is for you. If some people eat meat, it has no effect on them. I'm just saying, for me, meat was beef, pork. I mean, pork was one of the things that had effect on me. So if meat is something that you are not having any issues with, definitely go for meat, because they're very high in protein, but make sure you're not eating it every day. You want to limit the frequency. You know, how many times you eat meat a week, because it takes a couple of days to digest.
Okay. So let's talk about emotional eating, because a lot of us gain a lot of weight due to the different stressors that that our bodies experience. So how, I don't know if you have any advice on how to manage that kind of eating.
So first of all, as I said, you want to know what you're eating. Then when you get to that part, let's say for example, if it's from stress, if it's stress related, which is the emotional eating, how do you deal with stress? It's very important how you deal with stress, because we know the world we live in now is very stressful. There's a lot of sad things happening around. And so for me, how I deal with stress, because as I said, there's a lot. I'm a mother, I'm a full-time wife, I'm a caregiver. No, for real. I'm a full-time wife. I'm a caregiver to 3 elderly people. Okay?
Yeah.
All of which have their own health issues. 2 with cancer. But I'm surviving that. I was a full-time student. I was a full-time employee. So how do you handle all those things? I'm going to tell you very shortly. I started changing my perspective of how I view people and things. I said, for my sanity, in order for me to be happy, there were certain things I had to forego. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
So with the kids, for example, I was always complaining, oh, you're not cleaning well, you're not cleaning well. It came to a point I have to say, oh, at least my children are cleaning, but it's not to my expectation. I was happy with that. They'll put toilet roll. Instead of putting it this way, they'll flip it this way. I'll come to the bathroom, I'll be so mad. I'm like, at least they're cleaning the bathroom, but they're just putting the toilet roll this way. How about I spend less energy, less time? I just flip it around, but remind them, make sure you praise them for doing a good job cleaning. Then remind them to flip the toilet roll. My parents will eat. I don't know if they forget. They'll put food on their hand. By the time you're touching to open the fridge, you feel food, and that was my worst thing. I'll grumble and grumble. I'm like, okay. How about when I just come, before I even touch the fridge or the microwave, let me just get a white tissue, just do a rundown and maintain my sanity. When I go to work, you have co-workers, you have caregivers, they lash out their frustration at you. I tell people, do not take it personal. Have that empathy for them. Tell yourself they might be going through certain stressors in life. Unless you put your foot or your feet in somebody's shoes, you will not know what they're going through. And do not judge.
Yeah.
Okay? Just feel that, okay, what are these people going through? How can I help? That makes you a better person, and don't take those things personal.
You actually breathed a sigh of relief.
Oh yeah.
That. But I mean, that's great. That's great. That's a proper way of looking at life positively. But then for so many people, it requires a complete total mindset change, and mindset change is not easily achieved.
It didn't take me a day to get here. I had to constantly practice, and I asked myself, what is best for me in life? I believe in quality of life. I believe in enjoying my life. We know we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
The one thing we don't know is when and how. Okay? So you want to enjoy life. You want to enjoy the people around you. And another thing too, people used to sit and complain, oh, I don't have money to pay this. I don't have money. Do not look at those who are on top of you. Look at those who are underneath you, that you're better off than them. So it helps you appreciate life more. And you say, oh, at least I'm better than somebody.
True.
Don't say, oh, why am I not like this person who is up there? You don't know what it took them to get up there.
Oh, yeah.
It makes you count your blessings every day. And now you say, oh, at least I have a roof on top of my head. At least I have food to eat. There are some people who don't even have a home. They've lost everything.
Yeah.
They don't have anything.
Yeah.
And you're still complaining?
Sure.
No, let's stop complaining and count our blessings. That makes you a happier person. Then try to see what you can do for the underprivileged. It makes you like, wow, I am here. I'm helping somebody. So let's have that empathy and love and respect for one another.
And I love that how patience acts. We create at 3 levels: through thought, word, action. A great approach to self-realization and a better life. And she is Patience. I know personally, she lives and breathes positivity. I have never met somebody. It's been over 12 or 13 years since she started that practice, and it's such a part of her that honestly, that's another person. If you're looking for somebody to help, if you're taking mentors tea, if you're looking for somebody to help you walk that journey of positivity, Patience, she lives, she breathes a beautiful example of positive attitude.
That's the way to go.
Yeah. So again, go back, and Ross Juke says open-mindedness is the key to stress-free life.
Oh yeah. That's me.
And Collie adds that, wow, love for humanity brings so much fulfillment in life.
Yes.
So, but Nene says, let's go back to that belly fat. Discuss that belly fat. We all have our faults. Yeah.
So just cut back on your, I don't know, the foods that you eat. Look at the foods that are high in carbohydrate. Those who exercise a lot, you can do low carb, high protein diet where you say, okay, let me just cut down on my carb. And another thing that I used to do Tuesdays, for example, I call it my bad carbs day. I call it my bad carbs day. Those days, what do? I eat like fufu, I eat plantain, I eat everything that I want to eat, but within my eating window. That's because as a diabetic, for example, your glycemic index goes up. It goes up, and what you want to do is you do not want the body to go into your stored fat to get your energy from there. You want it to tap. I call it the carb cycling. So write that down. That's the carb cycling, because you say, oh, I'm not going to eat this, I'm not going to eat that. You want that body to tap into the foods, into the carbs that you just ate. Use it as a source of fuel and energy instead of your stored fat. So you want to definitely spoil yourself someday with those carbohydrate foods. So definitely cut back on them because they're so high in sugar.
Oh, chocolate, help me.
And mindset is another thing. You're talking of chocolate because during my period, if you see me eat chocolate, you know I'm having my periods. Okay. So now what I did was I had to change my mindset. I had to change my mindset on everything. So mindset changing it goes a long way. I just tell myself it's mind over matter. So now I was able to like eat chocolate as a treat, but not because I was having a period. Because if you're following your body to eat certain things, trust me, you go already. So I had to change it. Now I'm using it as a treat, but not because I'm having a period. No, because when you do a good job, you want to definitely treat yourself. With my banana cake, for example, that's another thing. That's my treat right there, once a week, and which is on Tuesday.
It takes a lot of discipline though to have such.
It does. That's why I'm telling you that it's not just one day. Everything is baby steps. You're not competing with anyone, and just tell yourself this is from now until infinity. Even if it's 1 pound a week is better than nothing. Compared to keep going up, is better than nothing. And tell yourself, okay, I know I'm just gonna do this gradually. If it's something that you know that is not good for you, even the meat, I didn't just get up one morning and cut it off. No, you do not want your body to go through withdrawal. I said you want to enjoy your journey. You don't want to feel tortured. So gradually, if you were eating meat every day, you want to step by maybe reducing it to 4 days a week, then 3 days a week, then it's baby steps. Gradually reduce those things to a point where when you see it outside, you'll not even miss it. You'll look at it, you instead feel like, what is that? What was it doing to me? Just like exercise, baby steps. Start slow, go, start low, go slow.
Start low, go slow. Okay. Andia is asking, before we get into exercise now, Andia is asking, very interesting talk. Thanks so much. Some people struggle with weight loss too due to contraceptives that create hormonal imbalance. Okay, you're saying,
That's why I was saying that hormone medications, those things they play a factor, because you have to ask yourself, why are you gaining in the first place? Is it from childbearing? Is it from medication? Is it from your hormonal levels themselves? So you want to be, in order to target that part, you need to be able to answer those questions, because those with hormonal imbalance are really struggling. They are really struggling. Yeah.
So with you, I mean, I know that obviously you also just got into exercise. What has worked for you? Because I know that with everything you do, you put a lot of research and a lot of work with what you do. So what has worked for you as an endomorph? And endomorphs, as we were talking earlier about body types, for those who are just joining us, and these are the different body types: ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph. And thank you, Crystal, for these pictures. So what worked for you as an endomorph? And we've been talking a lot, I think, about women. After that, let's come and talk about our ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph men.
This is the clear picture. That one is a good one.
Yes.
So with the exercises, as I said, you have to really start low. You want to enjoy your journey. So start low, go slow. Before, and you need to compare what were you doing the first time. For those who have tried before, what were you doing wrong that you have to change now? Me, I used to hit the gym, okay? I'll hit the gym every day. Then within a week or two, I'm done. Until next year. So what I did now was I said, okay, how about I start from home? Trust me, guys, there's a lot you can do from home. The gym is not the answer. There is a lot. I have turned every equipment in my house into a gym something. So my backyard, for example, I use it as cardio. I run 5 times up and down. My parents run there too. For those of you who have had the opportunity to see my videos of my parents here, they run. I make them run. Everybody in my house exercises. If I'm going to the store, instead of driving, I walk to the store. So when I get there, before I leave the house, I can take 2 water bottles. Okay? If you like, you freeze it. Just have it in your arms like muscles. Every little step counts. Use it as weight. Every little step counts. So if you drink the water, that's fine. So when you get to the store, I do my grocery. I put them in 2 separate bags, equal weights. Carry them, walk home. That's my walking. That's my weight.
Simple.
Simple.
Very practical.
Yes. Very simple. I feel sorry for my boss because the chair that I have is a spinning chair. I sit on it. I just turn my waist. It's helping my waistline. I just turn on the chair. And unfortunately for him, his wife looks at my WhatsApp status, how I'm messing up their chairs. I use their wall as my push-up. I tell people if you cannot do push-up, you want to work on your upper extremities first. I start from the wall. I just do something. I have my balls that I carry, not the balls that you men think of. No, I mean real ball. So I carry the balls. Just have it on your arm. Do something. Sometimes you just stand. Like those who work on the computer, work from home. This is the time every 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you stand up and stretch. Stretching, if you're doing stretches the right way, you burn calories too. You just stand up and do some stretches. You do jumping jack on one spot. You know, so you don't have to go, all those things that I've named, I haven't even been to the gym. So it's even advantageous for me now that the gyms are closed. You know, because I can still make use of every equipment that I see around.
True.
So start low. Start with walking. I used to start with 0.5. I did 0.5 miles in a week or two. I upgraded. So you want to gradually build your tolerance. You don't want to start with 40 push-ups, then you go back down. No, you want to gradually build those muscles. So I started from 0.5, then I went up gradually. Now I'm doing 15 miles. I don't even feel it. If somebody doesn't stop me, I just keep going.
Yeah, and I think you guys are getting here Rastaman and Das Abiro. So she's not discouraging the gym. She's saying that your home can be the gym, because Rastaman says, I don't think your perspective of gym is the answer. I don't think your perspective of gym is not the answer. It's better. To each its own. For some it may work, and with others it may not. And it's exactly that.
I started from home. I was still going to the gym. What I'm trying to say is, a lot of people think that if there's no gym, they cannot exercise. No. Okay. So I'm trying to say you can definitely make use of everything. I still went to the gym. Almost every day I was going to the gym. Yeah.
But in addition to that, she's doing all these other things and using everything in, like my mother, when my mother was here, she had she had these 2-liter bottles of water that she used to use as her weight. Correct. All the time. I have a section of because I have big arms, you know. I have what they call it. No, there's this word, Catholic women arm, you know, all Catholic mommy, they get fat arms or something like that. But anyways, shout out to Catholic CWA mommy. Don't come for me. But I have this part of my kitchen where I lift myself up, like to walk the back of my arms, and that all I think I joined Clementine to say that look around you and look at, especially if you're not a fan of the gym, there's so many things in your home that can help you work. Christian Mother Arms. Thank you, Richard. It's Christian Mother Arms. Yeah. So look for the things in your home that you can use as workouts. Yeah. There's quite a lot. You just need to open your eyes. You'll be surprised. You may not even need that gym membership.
Jump rope.
Yeah.
Woo! You're doing it, you're singing your song, you're dancing.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of stress management.
And I know that if anybody is a, I don't know, gym instructor who's watching, Auntie Baby has a question. I suffer from back pain on my shoulders, so what can I do?
Okay. Do you see how I'm sitting right now? You see this sitting position?
Yeah.
Most of us, we have that tendency of
Slouch.
like this.
Yeah.
You understand? So you want to start learning your body mechanism, how you bend, how you pick things. You want to start learning those too. And the shoes you wear, I'm going to because I'm trying to put a YouTube video out there. Our shoes, our wardrobe, we wear shoes. Do you see how some people walk in heels? Okay. So gradually you're building that ankle pain, your foot pain, and eventually that pain starts radiating and affecting other joints. And by the time you know it, you're having sciatica. Okay, that's a back pain that goes start from the back and radiates to your legs. So you want to definitely look into your wardrobe and look at the shoes. Those at work, how do you sit at work? What kind of chair do you have? How is your computer set up at work? That's when you start building those pains, and gradually. And another thing too, it could be a disease process. So you have to check those things. Look at your body mechanism, look at the foods you eat, and some of the medications you take. Those medications and their side effects, trust me, if you guys can try to look into the medications you're taking, the better for you, because those things come together. And how is your sleeping position, your sleep position, things like that. You want to take all those things into consideration when it comes to nerve pain. But you with the back pain, just start gradually sitting upright, or maybe standing. Try to stand and just gradually push your chest forward while you're moving your butt backwards until you find that neutral position. Once you get that neutral position with your behind going backward and your chest going forward while you're standing, if you do not feel pain, that's your neutral position. So you want to start maintaining that position. It takes practice because you constantly have to remind yourself, am I sitting upright?
Yeah.
When you're bending or things like that. So that's your neutral position that you want to maintain. And eventually it's going to take that pain away. Then sit back, Epsom salt. Those of you who have joint pain, Epsom salt and some of these essential oils, they really help. Soak yourself in that maybe for an hour, 2 or 3 days a week in Epsom salt or some of these essential oils like chamomile, lavender, eucalyptus, tea tree. Just put a little bit and just soak yourself, pamper yourself. You deserve to be pampered.
You do.
Yes, that's your me time.
Yes.
You deserve that. We're working so hard. We deserve to take care of ourselves.
True. Well, thank you. This has been really great. That's Iro is asking, at the infant stage of working out, what would be the ideal for someone that's beginning? What would be the ideal, especially for men aged 35 to 40? Before you go to men, let's take a few steps back and talk about the men's endomorph, ectomorphs, and mesomorph types. So if you want to say a bit about that.
So it's just the same as the female, but we know for our men, depending on what they're doing, we always know in terms of calorie intake too, men, they need they need to eat more based on the way their bodies make. They need to eat more than us. So it's just the same concept, like the type of exercises, what do you do, the type of foods you eat. Beer to men is a big deal, especially with the belly fat. Those with belly fat, if you notice, some men, they like fufu, they like beer, and when they're drinking beer, they just like to drink any kind of beer. Wine is ideal. If you look at the starch, the amount of starch that's in each beer, just maybe Hennessy or Stella or something. I'm saying this because I know my husband drinks a lot. I've been trying. I hope it's not yelling. God help me. I tried. This man from Norway had a big belly. Okay? Huge belly. It's the beer that he drinks. So I tell myself, okay, try to gradually win off that. Get something else. Beer Heineken has, I think it's 13 grams of carbs in it. Then imagine somebody sit down and drink a lot, like one crate. You buy 1 by 12, take to a cry die. You drink 11. The person. So it's it's.
You watching? He's watching.
So,
All women are the same.
yeah.
Go on.
So those things, they mean a lot. The starch that you're putting in your body for men is they just have that piagata, like some of us too. So you want to be the things you eat, and definitely. So exercises, cardio for you men is really important. You can Google different forms of cardio and see what helps for you.
Okay, and I think Mabi says here, since you asked, I have just started my YouTube channel, and on my Facebook page I upload exercise videos. I've not used the gym since March, so that's Abira. If you want to check out Mabi Abuno, Mabi, can you tell us what your YouTube page is, please? Thank you. What about Guinness? That's my choice.
Guinness and the other rest of the beers are just the same. So they'll give you in category like beer, and then they'll say liquor, and then they'll say like wine. Wine, if you look at it, is really good. Sometimes vodka, let my husband know here this, because vodka for men, they say vodka on hot liquor is really good. Okay, but I tell my husband vodka is a no-no for you, because when he drinks it.
Talk about your husband again, I beg. You go. I don't want to come soft.
So, but in terms of the wine is best, beer is the worst thing. It has the same amount. I think Guinness has either 12 or 11 grams of carbohydrate, and that's all sugar. And sugar is the one thing that leads to this. It converts when those starch converts to sugar, and yeah.
Okay.
Any man way you wash away no mama.
As Shanta said, you go sleep on Banda tonight.
It's okay.
But he understands.
Oh, yeah.
It's all for educational purposes.
Exactly.
But honestly, this has been great. So finally, because a lot of people joined us late, and quite a few people are still watching and interacting, and I'm grateful for that. I thank you guys so much. Clementine, this has been really, really, really informative, and I've learned a lot, especially on elimination and the intermittent fasting and making it work for you. So in conclusion, I think those 3 bits, especially because now we kind of know our body types, or even if we don't know, we have something to go back and read on our research on, right, on our body types. So that, in conclusion, I think I want you to just summarize from the beginning, like how you start small, what you do, in summary, about 5 minutes max. Yeah.
Okay. So what I would say is, if you want to start your journey, ask yourself, why are you starting this journey? Okay? In order to know what you're doing. Then if you've gained weight, ask yourself, why did I gain weight in the first place? Because you have to know that component in order to know how to target it. So now, if you have found out, if you are able to answer those questions, now you start asking yourself, how do I lose the weight? What do I need to do? What kind of exercises do I need to do? Your body type comes in. You need to understand your body types. Intermittent fasting, the plan is really individualized. What works better for you, not what another person is going with. No, look at your schedule and know what works better for you. If you want to do your meals, for example, as I said, ask yourself, there has to be large, moderate, small, and your small frequent meals, your small healthy snacks in between. So where do you plug your large or your medium or your moderate meal? You have to know where to place them. Then with the physical activities, where do you start with? If you're somebody who've always not been able to do anything, just start with walks.
Yeah.
And you want to set realistic goals. Realistic goals. Tell yourself, okay, I know this is not competition. This is for me, body, mind, and soul. And be patient. I have a formula, which is determination, self-discipline, consistency, patience equals success. You need to be patient to see this result. Okay, as I said, it's not a competition with anybody.
Yeah.
You want to set your time. You want to see if with the intermittent fasting, if you know you have to go out with a friend, because I didn't say if your time is past 7, you have to stop. If you know you have to go out with a friend at 9 p.m., for example, just move your breakfast time and still enjoy with that friend at 9 p.m. It's still, you still have this eating and your fasting window. And then what else? As I said, start gradually with the exercises. Gradually build your tolerance when
Yeah.
you're exercising. You want to enjoy it. Find things around that make your journey fun for you and not torture. You have to always remember that. If you want to do method of elimination, do not just cut off. If you are used to something that you know is not working for you, don't just cut off abruptly.
Yeah.
You know, you baby steps. Everything is baby steps. You want to gradually reduce your portion and the frequency of how you're eating that thing to a point where you completely eliminate, or you still have it, but maybe just once a week you can still enjoy those foods. And stress management, which is the maintenance part of it, which is the most important and the most crucial. You want to know if you're eating, if you're doing binge eating, why are you eating in the first place? Is it from stress? If it's stress related, how do you do with those negative stressors? Because as somebody rightly said, when you're stressed, your brain releases something called cortisol. And cortisol is an enzyme that's being released, and it makes you eat a lot. It makes you forget that you've even eaten. Remember that everything is mind over matter. Once you start changing your mindset on a lot of things, you'll be able to take care of that. And once you fix the mind, every other thing takes place, because it's the mindset that takes us to all these negative behaviors that we've been doing. You know, so with stress, how do you manage stress? As I told you earlier, you have to start seeing things and people differently.
Yeah.
Things that were making you upset. Why is it making you upset? Is it really necessary? Is it really worth your happiness? If
Yeah.
no, let it go. We know that there are certain things that are still going to happen. Death, for example, is something that's going to happen. How are you going to deal with a loss? Be it if a loved one or financial loss or something, how do you deal with losses like that?
Yeah.
Start preparing your mind, because you know those are things that are going to be there regardless. So
Yeah.
how do you start? How do you deal with those? And another good thing, when I tell people how to, sometimes if you're in a situation where you're really stressed, what do you do? If anybody is still watching, just close your eyes for a quick second. Okay? Let's take a deep breath. Inhale through your nostrils. So while you are inhaling, you want to put yourself in this beautiful place. You want to smell this beautiful fragrance, your best fragrance, whatever takes you to that good place in your life. So you inhale, you do a quick inhale and smell that. Be it a vacation, be it Jamaica, be it wherever, the beach, water, whatever, your favorite color, your favorite flower, whatever takes you to that beautiful place. Then you gradually exhale through your mouth as if you are blowing a candle. And while you're doing that, exhale through your mouth, blow that candle nice and slow. Don't fall asleep now. So while you're doing that, you know, it's taking you to this beautiful place, and that's the place you always want to be if you're stressed, whatever makes you happy. And sometimes too, if you're inhaling, whatever negative energy you're feeling in you just want to let go and just tell yourself it's not worth my happiness. It's not. There's certain things that we spend time getting angry over, things that you work on, things that you know you have control over. The things that you have no control over, the same person will give you the package. I never tell and say, God, now you give me the package. I will leave and back for your hand. You will handle this package for me while I'm enjoying my life this way.
I like
That's it. And that's how you're able, because when you know how to manage stress, every other thing takes place.
Oh yeah.
You can sleep better, because some people on sleeping pills, you can sleep better, you feel better, your whole energy is changed. Then you want to create your no negativity zone, that whatever comes, whichever is negative, it bounces back. I call it a boomerang effect.
Oh yeah.
It goes back to you. Nothing touches this chick. Nobody.
That was brilliant. Das Abiru asked, before you go, how do you build endurance? I have heard about that a lot.
Just as I said, you know, how do you perceive things in life? And what is it for you that means so much? in terms of your quality of life. As I said, people will try to put you down. They will try to do this. Believe in yourself, self-love,
Yeah.
know your self-worth. Because when you know you have love for yourself, and I'll just post on my WhatsApp that a lot of people, they should stop blaming people that they cannot give love, that hatred, they're pouring hatred now and then. Some people do not know what love is. You have to be able to love yourself in order to give love. So if you don't know love, how can you give something you do not have? So let's just pray for those people to be able to find love. We can still teach them how to love.
Yeah.
When they bring hatred, give love.
Love. Yeah.
Okay. So I just lost my train of thought. So when you perceive things differently, as I said, people try to put you down and do things like that. But just know your self-worth. Once you know who you are and you believe in yourself, nobody can touch you. Nobody. So you have to start believing in yourself. You have to know your potentials.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And Gillian lastly asked, what is the difference between losing fat and losing muscle? How to ensure it is fat you are losing and not muscle?
I'm glad you mentioned that question, because some people, when they're losing weight, they stand on the scale and they're so excited that, woo, I lost 10 pounds, I lost 24 pounds. You want to make sure you're doing the right thing, because those muscles, especially when your protein comes in, sometimes you're eating the wrong food and doing the wrong exercises. 1 pound of muscle is equivalent to a pound of fat. However, the density of muscles is greater than the density of fat. So the scale, when you're getting to a certain point, the scale should not be your measurement as of if you're losing weight or not, because sometimes you get so depressed.
Yeah.
There is something, I think there is an app on your phone. Sometimes when you go, there is something that you can use to monitor your body fat mass. There's a machine that you hold. It calculates when you start. It calculates your fat, the amount of fat that you have. So when you're losing weight, I think you put in your weight, you put in your height and everything, and your age. So you hold that machine. It can tell you what amount of fat you have. So when you're losing it, you know that, okay, you're definitely burning that fat. That machine will help you. Sometimes there's some skills when you stand on it, it tells you the amount of water you have, the amount of protein you have, the amount of fat you have, the amount of weight of muscle.
Really?
Yeah, there is a scale. I have that scale somewhere there, but I have to compute it on my phone in order to be able to just step on it, and it will give you a rundown of everything. So you want to make sure you're eating the right foods to retain, to keep those muscles, because you don't want to waste muscles. That's why when you see some people, when they lose weight, they look really sick because they've wasted muscle and they retain the fat. And that's why when people lose within a month, the fat that was retained, additional fat adds to that, but you've wasted your muscle. So you need to definitely ask somebody will tell you those tools that you can use to measure your body fat mass, because that's one thing you really want to keep track of, to know if the weight that you're shedding is the right, is not fat, is fat or versus muscles. So you want to know that.
But if you don't have that machine, can't you manage that with your food intake, the kind of food you eat, so you're making sure you're eating the right protein and things like that?
And that I don't want to start giving you in terms of percentage, because sometimes you say, okay,
Yeah.
will tell you, people will say that do not eat carbs. You can get carbs from your vegetables, from your fruits. Carbs is everywhere, from the drinks, as I was telling you, but it wants to be the healthy carbs. So once in a while you eat our African food, but eat them in moderation. So once you're doing that, then if you're exercising a lot, you definitely want to increase your protein intake and you want to be on a low carb, high protein diet. Just like diabetics as well. You want to be on the, carb control, diabetic diets, things like that. So when you're retaining the muscle, you definitely know it, because sometimes you look at your body, if you can tell that you're building muscles. You can definitely tell from your body, compared to when you're having this flappiness all over the place. When you lose weight, you're having this flappiness. So those who are losing, you want to start doing your cardio first, then gradually starting with weight. If you know you're one of those who look on the scale, who use the scale as your determinant factor, you want to start with cardio, then start weight. Because if you do them together, you're not going to see, especially if you're doing heavy weights, you're building those muscles and then burning that fat at the same time. So you'll be so disappointed with the scale. Let the scale not be your judge.
Auntie Mabi says, go by your clothes size. It doesn't lie, or how they fit. I never weigh myself. My goodness, I have no clothes now.
And the clothes size as well. You might be losing inches, the same as you ask yourself, okay, am I wasting muscle and retaining fat, or vice versa? So sometimes if you're wasting muscle, clothes size will definitely fit, but you've wasted your muscles. That's muscle wasting, but you're retaining the fat. So you want to be careful, yeah. So make sure you're, eating the right foods and doing the right exercises.
And on that note, this has been brilliant, 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 brilliant. I know that we could keep talking about this forever, and we've really maintained the viewership. So I thank you guys for watching. I really believe that this was important and information for all of us who stayed, and for those who are going to come back and watch later. So sis, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. So I'm definitely gonna post my card because we're starting our business soon on the website. We'll post it there. Then I also have my YouTube channel as well. I think Gertie knows that she'll share the link to you guys. On the YouTube, it's not like any other YouTube. It's just me trying to help those who wanna go through a journey, help them to the type of foods they can see, give them options like what to substitute with what, and those who are giving up something, what can you do to still enjoy your meals. So that's the purpose of my YouTube. So you can definitely go there and see some healthy tips.
Okay, so we're going to share that on the resources page on the Goretti experience page, the resources page, and in the YouTube. I'm going to make sure I include it in the description page, her website, and her Facebook page as well. Somebody asked something. Sorry, I've just saying that I apologize if I didn't ask earlier, that some people are none of the ectomorphs, mesomorphs, nor endomorphs. They are hybrids. Did you ever come across that?
No, I have to do a research on that.
Okay. So some people say they're hybrid. So if you know you're a hybrid, I think there will definitely be information available on the internet for you to figure out how to.
That's my homework for today.
Yeah. So Auntie Mabi says, let's link up, Clementine. She wants to link up with you because she is also, Auntie Mabi is in her 50s. Auntie Mabi, can I say it on to you? but she does a lot of exercises, and it's real. I follow her, and I mean, for people who are older, it's worth following her Facebook page. She's put her YouTube channel in the comment section. So if you're over 50, or if you have your mother or your sister or your sibling, she gives really good exercise tips and different exercises for people in that age group. So please make sure you find Mabi Abuno in the comments and follow her. Or subscribe to her YouTube page. And as for Clementine's YouTube page, like I said, it's going to be in the resources page, and it's also going to be for those who are watching on YouTube, it's going to be in the description. I'm going to edit that and add that to that. So on that note, what can we say? Oh my gosh, you have something. We at the association, that's from Cynthia, we at the Association of Comment Reading Committee, in brackets CRC, want to say a big thank you, Sister Clementine. We learned a lot. Thanks to all those who left amazing comments. We did read your comments. Thank you, our beautiful host, for this amazing program. Good night, all. Until Friday, we'll be here to listen and read your comments, and maybe comment if necessary and ask questions when in doubt. Go team! That's the TWE tribe. Thank you guys so much.
Great. Just continue the good work. I know. You're really changing life. Sometimes I watch your show and I just have tears in my eyes. Because I'm somebody who has gone through abuse. I did share in the last part of the show as well. But then do not let your past define your present, because sometimes your past holds you back. So you just want to live the moment, enjoy the moment, learn how to forgive, and just let go. Once you learn how to forgive from inside out, it opens that door to you. Yep. So just keep doing the good work. And those who have been affected by Corona, I know we all have. I want to extend my sincere condolences to you, and know we are in this together. We can definitely get through this together. We are each other's keeper. So please reach out and then connect. Okay?
Thank you so much. And on that note, I'm going to keep you backstage now and say goodbye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my goodness, guys, this was an hour and 40 minutes, and we're all still here. So, yay! I think we all needed that. And thank every single person who contributed, because this weight loss thing, I think we're going to have another session sometime in the future just to catch up on people who are going to try and put whatever was discussed today into practice, and hopefully let's motivate each other. And we have Mabi Abuno as well, and we have all those who've left comments who are exercise buffs, so you can follow them and you can be part of them, and let's just continue to motivate each other. I thank you very much for being here tonight, for spending your Wednesday evening with us. We are back on Friday, and you really don't want to miss Friday's show. You really don't want to. So I'll see you. For those who are watching on YouTube, thank you guys, because we stream live now on YouTube as well. So thank you for watching, thank you for supporting. And for all of those who are watching for the first time, I saw I think it's Dr. Zigo. I saw you here. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our pages. On YouTube and on Facebook, it's the Gorete Experience. Like on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube. Please, let's grow this community. And yeah, and see you on Friday. Like I said, this weight loss thing, we need to hold each other's hands, you know, but like she said, it starts by knowing your body type and knowing your motivation, because those are the things that carry you through on those days that you feel like, you know what, I just can't get out of bed today. So it's not easy. It's not easy for anyone. If I tell you I used to be a size 10, you won't believe it, but this is me at size 14, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there. So I'll see you guys on Friday. Thank you so much and have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.